Hey everyone, this is Dan with DPS Breakdowns. Today we'll analyze the recent match between Mark Hall and Michael Kemerer, both of whom enter the contest undefeated on the year. This was an incredibly fun and action-packed match, and I'll do my best to break down some of the important sequences. Let's get to it. Per the usual procedure, I'll show each sequence in full at regular speed, then we'll take a closer look with frame-by-frame analysis. Sequence 1. Hall's going to attempt a duck under. He's got a right arm underhook. Now he's going to jack up double unders. Go for a beautiful throw here. And he's not quite able to stick the landing how he'd like. So this duck under is something that Hall does often here. Kemerer is going to have that right arm collar tie. Hall has that left arm elbow tie. And what he's going to do, Hall's going to plant that right hand to the mat here. And he's going to essentially pull the elbow over his head and then pop his head out right where the armpit is, right in Kemerer's right armpit, and try to spin around to the back. Now Kemerer does a good job here getting that elbow back in play, his right elbow, and squaring up, although Hall does land in a pretty good spot here with that deep underhook. But you can see Kemerer does a good job. He's going to get his hips back. He's got that left arm overhook himself. And now he's back in a decent position. But in a second here, you can see Hall's going for that double under. And what triggers this, Kemerer's got this deep overhook. He's going to loosen it up a little bit, and as soon as Hall feels that, he's going to jack this thing up. And you can't see too great from this angle, but Hall's going to lock his hands right behind Kemerer's head, and he has those double underhooks. Really dominant position. He's going to step through, and he hits this beautiful throw. And this is not a throw you typically see off of double unders. This is something you often see this over with when you grab the head and the far arm, or sometimes you'll see it with the near side underhook and the far side overhook. But from double unders, you don't see it too often, at least I don't. Hall does a good job getting his hips in. He's going to pull Kemerer's head down. He's going to create some good upper body rotation. And he's going to stick him right here. So Kemerer's back is the first thing to hit the mat here. The problem is it's almost so good of a throw that there's a lot of momentum generated. So he lands, it's such a nice landing here that Kemerer is going to be able to roll through, use that momentum, and fall to his right side here. And once he's on his right side here, Hall's going to have a tough time settling his hips back. And from here we can see where both guys are going to try to do a hip heist. So generally speaking, you don't want your hips pointed to the ceiling. You're going to be in a lot stronger position when your hips are pointed to the ground. And so you're going to see both guys perform it here. So Kemerer is going to thread his right leg through, and Hall's going to thread his left leg through. And they're both going to point their hips down to the mat. Hall's going to do his best to keep his control, but eventually he's going to feel the need to post that hand, and he's going to lose both the head and the elbows. Let's see one other angle here. So Hall jacks it up. Here you can see the hands locked. Steps through. Gets that good upper body rotation. So you want to think of the elbows as hands on a clock. You want to look for 12 and 6. He's also going to control the head. Really nice throw. Fortunately, the landing does not result in a great position for Hall. And there's no points scored on this sequence. Let's run through that one more time. Full speed. Here comes the duck. Hall's going to jack up double unders. Locks his hands, steps in for the big throw. Kemerer does a really good job getting to his right side, threading the leg through, and eventually freeing himself. So Kemerer is now on the single leg here. He's going to step over. Hall's going to try that swimming counter. And Kemerer just does a good job sticking with them, keeping a good angle, and then finishing with both legs. So just quickly on this one, you can see Kemerer's got a great angle here. Hall and Kemerer's bringing his, see how his right hip is lower than his left. Hall, what Hall likes to do a lot of times is dump people to their far hip, and he's not gonna be able to do it here. Steps over that ankle, anchors in that good angle, and Hall tries this backstroke defense here. But Kemerer just sticks with them. See how he moves his feet, moves his knees. And now he's gonna lock up that second leg, and it's a done deal. Once more on that. Steps over. Hall tries to spin through. Takedown for Kemerer. Next. So here Kemerer is going to try a mat return, and Hall is going to quickly and slickly reverse it here. So Kemerer is going to hip in, tries to pull Hall down with him. Watch how Hall uses both of his hands as posts here. Does a good job to maintain a decent base. And he's going to immediately sit on Kemerer's stomach and chest area here. So this is a bad spot for Kemerer. He actually has to unlock his hands, which makes it what would be a pretty bad position especially bad. And now Hall is going to keep those posts, keep his weight high. If Hall's hips were lower, close to Kemerer's hips, Kemerer would maybe have a chance to do some crab ride type stuff. But here, he really just doesn't have too many options. Hall's gonna plant that left foot, right hand, and he hip heists there. So you can see how that movement, that hip heisting, threading the needle, scissoring the legs, whatever you want to call it, it's all pretty much the same thing. It's about bringing those hips down to the mat. It just gets you in a stronger position. So you have to develop the ability to do that, and you can see how that can pay dividends both in that first position that we saw and then here. So just one more time. Moving on. Single leg from Hall. Kemerer is going to go over the top here. And Hall's going to control Kemerer's left leg, dump him to the hip. And he's going to get his two. So watch Hall, he's going to bring that left foot behind him here. Remember, when we shoot, we usually are going to want a staggered stance. So right now, Hall's square, good defensive stance. But when you want to attack in, especially on a single leg, you're going to bring oftentimes one leg back here, and he's going to penetrate in. So right here, Hall's able to get elbow deep on the leg, good head position to the inside, spinning around for the angle. And Kemerer is going to jump over top. So this is a pretty common tactic you see a lot in college wrestling. What it does is it can really tie up the attacking wrestler, and if you can stall here long enough, you can get a stalemate and just get back to the starting point without giving up any points. So Kemerer's got those hands locked around Hall's waist here. Hall's going to do a good job keeping his poise. I mean, a guy like Mark Hall has been here so many times, so he knows what he wants. He's going to double up on Kemerer's left leg here. And what he's looking to do is bring him over the top here, dump him to that hip. So he gets Kemerer onto his left hip. And he's going to do a good job of maintaining control of that leg. Kemerer wants to get back to his knees. He's going to want to do that hip heist movement we keep talking about, thread that leg back through, but he can't because Hall has the leg controlled here. Kemerer's got his hands locked around the crotch area, and he's going to be looking for some kind of movement where he can roll him over. You can see the hands locked there, but he can't generate power because he's stuck on his hip. So again, just this illustrates why you don't want to be stuck on that hip and why you would want to do that hip heist movement, and then why, as an offensive wrestler, you want to deny that movement. So you can see Hall pretty basic, just controlling that bottom leg. Kemerer can't do anything here. He's going to bail on the lock, get to his elbow. But again, Hall just keeps that leg. He keeps that leg. Kemerer can't thread it through. He runs him down, and he gets his takedown. So one more time. Controls the leg with both hands, dumps him to his hip, and he's just going to maintain control of that bottom leg. That's his sole concern here. He does grab the head with the right arm as well. So now we're going to see, this one's not going to be successful, but pay attention to this one. This is going to be a head outside single from Kemerer. He's going to do this a couple more. He's going to go for it a few more times in this match. This one, Hall does a good job defending. So Kemerer is going to use, see how he has the left arm collar tie. Hall has an over tie, so he's got like a collar tie but over top of it. And this is going to allow Kemerer to kind of flare, open up that window. He flares his elbow up and he's able to shoot in here. And watch the footwork on this, it's pretty interesting. He's going to take a big step with his left leg, but he's going to drop his right knee, his back knee to the mat. And he's going to slide in. He's really going to slide on both knees in this case. And the angle change is important. So head's outside for this. Normally we'd have a head inside single, but head's going to be on the outside. Really good angle, but Hall does a great job. He immediately grabs that ankle. So he's going to get what's called a belly whizzer or just like a tight waist grip with his right hand, Hall. And then he's going to look for the ankle with his left hand here. And this is going to deny Kemerer the angle he wants. Kemerer wants to keep going to his left, get almost like a close to perpendicular angle, ideally. And Hall wants to stay as square as possible. And so that's the battle here. Hall's going to elevate that ankle, and he dumps him to his hips. And from here, it's just going to be, Kemerer's just going to hold on, just kind of settle for the stalemate. One more time. Good initial entry, but Hall counters beautifully. Moving on. So we've got the same shot from Kemerer. This time he gets it. So again, we've got this head outside single. He kind of reminds me of Sidakov. If you guys saw my slide-by study on him, this Russian, really good Russian wrestler. He does the same, very similar shot. But anyways, so we've got really the same setup. Kemerer has his collar tie. Hall's got an over tie. He's going to open up the elbow. He gets in. So this is really good setup, pretty simple. Again, he's going to take a big step with his left leg, and he drops to his right knee, and then he's going to look to slide to both knees and create that good angle. So look at that. So let's go over that angle a few times. See how he's spinning around here. So he's not trying to go straight in. Initially, he wants to bring his hips in, but then he wants to change. He wants to really pivot and change that angle here. Now this time he makes a little adjustment. He's going to look to elevate. See that grip on Hall's right ankle? He's going to elevate that leg, and that makes a big difference here because now Hall can't really sprawl. It's also going to shift Hall's weight to his left knee, so he's going to be a lot less mobile at this point versus when he could have both knees to the mat and kind of do a traditional sprawl. From here, Kemerer is going to look to dump Hall to that same hip that he's controlling the ankle. So he's controlling Hall's right ankle. He's going to dump Hall to that hip, but importantly too, he's going to control Hall's other leg as he does it. So you can see the right hand of Kemerer wrapping around Hall's other leg. And really there's just, at this point, once he has the other leg, there's really nowhere for Hall to go. And this is something, against really good scramblers, it's generally a great idea to control both legs. It sounds kind of obvious, but whenever they have one leg free, there's always some kind of option available. You see this a lot with Yanni Diakomahalis. If you have one of his legs, you're probably not going to take him down. You have to really tie up both legs, and I think that's probably just true with Mark Hall as well. But anyways, let's run through that one more time. Great setup, good angle change, elevates, dumps him to his hip. It's quick in real time, guys, but when you slow it down, you can see the details and how they really matter. So grabs that ankle and elevates, brings him to that far hip, controls the far leg as well. Or brings him to that near hip, controls the far leg. So guys, let's see that same takedown from a different angle. Just emphasize a couple points here. I think this is important. So, two things. This angle change that Kemerer quickly does, so he gets great penetration here. Big angle change. You can see he keeps his head up, and this is important. So he's keeping his back straight, head up. This makes it really difficult for Hall to get that belly whizzer with his right arm. So he wants to bring that right arm around the waist that you'll typically see with against head inside single. It's a lot harder when the head's high on the outside now to get that arm there. He's still gonna go for the ankle, but Kemerer is gonna kick it out here. So he frees his ankle as opposed to the last time where Hall was able to nullify the takedown with the ankle control. Kicks it out. Again, he's that ankle grip, super important, elevates it, wraps up both legs, gets his finish. Just one more time, a little slower. Look at that angle change, super cool. So now we can see Kemerer with some good defense. This is going to end in a stalemate. Just a quick one to show. Focus a lot on the takedowns, but the defense can be really valuable to see it as well. Simple setup here. Hall just going to tap and go. Penetrates in. And Kemerer is going to do that belly whizzer with his left arm, with his left hand. And he's going to grab the ankle on the other side here. So this is just a really simple and extremely effective way to defend a single leg. And what it does is it prevents Hall from getting his angle. So Hall wants to keep spinning around to his right, towards his right, and almost get behind Kemerer. And Kemerer wants to stay as square as possible. If you can stay square in a single leg, you can usually get out through the sprawl here, which you can see. He's sprawling his leg out. And you can control the ankle, or even right at the knee can be effective too, which you see right here. Basically just putting a stopper on that leg here. And I really like that the belly whizzer here. It lets you hang on. So when you're reaching for that far ankle with your right hand, as Kemerer is in this case, he needs something to like hold on to so he doesn't fall to his right hip and give up an easy takedown. So you can use that waist, that tight waist or belly whizzer, whatever you want to call it, to kind of hang on while you control the far leg, either at the knee or the ankle. Last time. So we've got 1:30 left. Hall needs a takedown to tie it here. Let's see what happens. Really nice ankle pick, but Kemerer is somehow able to defend. And if you're just watching this live, it just looks like a whirlwind, kind of a crazy scramble. But let's take a close look here. So you can see Hall right here has a left arm collar tie. And he's going to use his tie-ups here. He's aiming for Kemerer's left leg. So that's the one he wants to pick. He wants to do a same side ankle pick. He's going to give him a little pull here. And you can see Hall's going to step his left leg back. Going to draw Kemerer forward, and as soon as he anticipates that leg being drawn forward, he's going to drop to his lead knee, right knee, and he's going to pick the ankle with the same side arm. So drop to the right knee, pick with the right hand. Just one more time on that motion. Really good timing. You can see Kemerer kind of anticipates it, but it's too late. As he goes to draw that leg back, Hall has it right here. Kemerer is going to start to fall down. Now, this is a crucial moment here. So if Kemerer were to just try to fight, if he were to fall to his left hip and fight from there, it's going to be very difficult to stop the takedown. But he's going to do a pretty smooth maneuver here. He's going to scissor his top leg over. So watch this here. So watch Kemerer's right leg. He kicks it over. And now he's going to try to square back up. You can see he's on his hands. He's going to try to run away, create some space. Hall goes to follow. And now it's just like defending a single leg. So you'll see guys, I see guys at the international level do this defense all the time. When they get ankle picked, they'll quickly switch their hips. So you don't, again, if you don't want to be stuck with your bottom leg controlled, so you can turn that leg into the top leg by scissoring over. So Kemerer scissors over, and now he has his right leg as like a post leg behind him here. And he's gonna square back up, do his same defense he's been doing. He goes belly whizzer, ankle grip. And here Hall just doesn't really have a good position anymore, and he's just gonna have to hang on for the stalemate. Let's check out another angle on this. So again, you can see Hall draw him forward, picks the ankle really nice. Kemerer's gonna post that left hand, and he kicks over. And so right here is really important here. If Hall can grab, if Hall's able to control that right ankle of Kemerer's, he's gonna be able to finish. But Kemerer knows that he's gonna kind of run away, and as Hall goes to reach for it, slow that down a little bit. He's gonna reach for the hip instead of the ankle, and Kemerer's gonna be able to square back up and get the stalemate. So just one more time on that second angle. We'll go full speed. Here's the last sequence of the match. Hall needs 2 to tie it up, and Kemerer's gonna get another takedown. So really not much to say about this one. This is really kind of just bad luck or bad timing from Hall as he's going to take his shot. Kemerer's also taking a big step in, and Kemerer's gonna be in better positioning here. He's gonna have his head lower. He's gonna have his back straight, and he's just gonna drive through for a really, really easy double just due to the positioning and get the finish. Another angle. You can see right as Hall's going, so is Kemerer. And just one, it speaks to the value of, you know, keeping your head in good position, keeping your head low. That's one of your main lines of defense. Your head, your hands, and your hips. And so Kemerer's head's in a great spot here. He's able to get the double to finish it. That's all for this video. If you'd like to support my channel, you can do so through Patreon at the link below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.